Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the Whiskey Cove. And on today's episode, we have a big old store haul coming your way. Run the video. All right then folks, thank you for joining us for another new and as always exciting episode here on the Whiskey Cove, where we will be looking at some of the whiskies that I was able to get in the last couple of weeks or so, and some of the bottles that we were able to kill off. Spoiler alert, not many bottles because we did a month of sobriety. Yes, this video doesn't exactly specifically go over 1 month. It's usually a lot longer than that, probably like 5, maybe 6 weeks. So there were some bottles that we were able to kill off. So let's start straight away. So bottle number 1 was a classic early times bottled in bond. That is this guy. I think this is the second one that we killed off this year. We had 2 open. We had 1 Sazerac run. We had 1 Brown Forman one. We're just kind of running one down here and we managed to kill her off. I have a few backups for these and we may or may not see one on this video. But again, really great bottle. I can't say enough good things about it. And then another Sazerac related bottle that is Eagle Rare 10 year. This does say age 10 years on the front. I know that they switched that up. Used to just say it on the back. We managed to kill this one off. I think we might have killed one off also not so long ago, and I also have another half open one over there. Don't ask me why. I think the other one was a store pick that we killed off, so that could explain that. Picked this up, I believe $35. I don't like to pay more than $40 for Eagle Rare. It's still a very good whiskey even at $40. However, if we can get it a little bit cheaper, it makes me feel a little bit happier. However, let's jump into some of the bottles that I was able to pick up, and let's start with the early times bottled in bond. So I could have picked up a few of the Sazerac ones that I passed on. However, we went for this one, and this is this guy because it has the black top. We were out in basically the middle of nowhere, Colorado, and there's a store, and they had 1 of these left, and they had like 4 of the Sazerac ones. So I bought it, and it was only $24.99. So can't argue with that. Anytime you see one of these black cap Brown Formans, there's not too much of a difference between this and the Sazerac ones, but for old time's sake, you should probably still get it. Don't pay anything more than $30, I would say, unless you really want the black cap ones, then maybe splurge a little bit to $35. Next up, we have Old Faithful Old Tub. So I bought 1 bottle of Old Tub going back about 8-9 months ago, and I wanted to do an experiment with it. And that experiment was to drink Old Tub the way that one of the Beam members down in Kentucky used to drink it, and that was poured and aged in like raisins and currants. So I did that experiment and I forgot about it, and whiskey went really bad. So we bought another one with my intention to do that experiment once more and maybe do a video about it. This is like $21, cheap and cheerful, so not terrible that whiskey went to waste. Next up, and we have Copper Sky. Copper Sky is a distillery here in Colorado. The bottle looks a little something like that there. So this is 13-year light whiskey. So this is from MGP. This is coming in at a whopping 66.75% or 133.5 proof. So light whiskey, very light. Why did they make light whiskey? So during the early 2000s, when people were drinking a lot of clear spirits, clear rums, tequilas, gin, to keep up with the Joneses, if you like, whiskey started trying to make like a lighter version of whiskey, maybe something that was less calorically dense and something that still tasted like good whiskey, but also was a little bit more appealing to the masses. So that's why you're seeing, maybe not so much now, but the last few years, a lot of aged MGP stuff, which is light whiskey. However, I was able to pick this up for $60. The store that had this bottle had it on sale. I probably wouldn't have got it because I do have a couple up there, but still very good use. 13-year light whiskey for $60 is a great deal. There's some other distilleries that do those other light whiskeys from MGP. This is one of the only ones here in Colorado that has them. Next up, and if you saw our Argonaut video, the Denver's biggest and best liquor store, you would have seen the unique circumstances that I was able to find this bottle, and that is Bardstown Discovery 12. Very fortunate they were able to get this. This is 57.6% ABV or 15.2 proof. So we kind of stumbled on it. We were looking for this bottle for the video, like a good Friday night pour, and we ended up going with Bardstown Origin bottled in bond. And then next to it was this thing. And then we were like, oh, we have to take this. And this ended up being in the video as well. And you have to go back and see that. But why is the Bardstown 12 so sought after? So the last Bardstown Discovery release that had an all Kentucky distillate was the 11, but the last one before that was batch 4. But how this differs to the batch 11 is this one has a lot of older Kentucky distillate in there. So 48% of this bottle is 14-year-old Kentucky distillate, 29% is 10-year-old, 15% then is another 10-year-old, and then 8% is Bardstown's own 6-year. So a lot of, the vast majority of the bottle, 92% is over 10 years, and 48% of that is 14 years of age. Haven't got into this, very excited to get into this bottle, can't wait to get into it. I hope that it lives up to kind of everybody's kind of big vouchers or everybody's big ambitions of what this bottle is right now. So really excited to get into this, watch this space. We're definitely going to do a review on that one. For anybody who wants to know, I paid $140 for that, which is right in line with what whiskey is going for right now, especially that bottle is usually more than that, like 150, 160, just because it's so sought after. Next up, we have New Riff, and this is the Kentucky Straight malted whiskey that you folks at home know I like, but this is the sherry finished. So this is their malted whiskey, which is 100% malted whiskey, and then finished in Oloroso and then Pedro Jimenez casks. So I really like the malted rye of this. That's the 7-year. This is the same distillate, but they take it out at 6 years, and then they age it on those sherry barrels. Another bottle that I'm very excited to get, paid $59.99, which I think is a cracking price for this one. It's going to be limited edition. It's not really going to be coming back, so I definitely wanted to get it to kind of see what it's all about. I'm actually really, really excited to get into this bottle, just because I like the 7-year malted rye, and I'm pointing behind me because it's over my shoulder over there. But I'm really excited to get into that because I really liked that 7-year from New Riff. Next up, and we have a Jack Daniel's release, and this is a bottle that I've been looking for a very, very, very long time, and I was very excited that I was able to get that. That is Coy Hill by Jack Daniel's. Single barrel special release. This is coming in at 124.3 proof or 62.15% ABV. So yes, they've had a lot of high-end hazmat ones in the past. I don't mind hazmat stuff from time to time, but it's not my favorite proof. I really like 55 to 60. That's where I really like. So this is on the lower end of the kind of stuff that comes out of Coy Hill. So I'm really happy about that because it fits my palate and what I really like. This is barrel number 24-07278, barreled on September, barrel entry when the whiskey went, or the distillate went into the barrel was September 4th, 2013. So this is about 11 years old as well. So really good age statement with this. Very excited to be able to get into this, and we will definitely do a review on that bottle for you folks at home. 2 bottles left. Old Elk Wheated Bourbon. Very, very excited to get into this. So it's a bit of a theme here with a lot of the bottles that I was able to pick up. Some bottles are sought after bottles, but some bottles maybe not so much, like the New Riff, like the Copper Sky, and like this one, Old Elk 8-year Wheated Bourbon. So these, I'm just picking bourbons that I like right now or sound really good to me. Maybe not so much that there's good reviews on right now, because I don't really go out and watch reviews, truth be told. I just look up for bottles and look what I like and my own preferences. So this is an 8-year Wheated Bourbon. It doesn't say, well, oh yes, there you go. I was looking for that. Distilled in Indiana. So this is MGP stuff. MGP do really good wheated bourbons, and Old Elk have a really good knack at blending their wheated bourbons too. This is 50% ABV or 100 proof, but I like that proof range. This did cost $79.99. Very excited to get into this bottle. Cool bottle, cool little like elk stub on the top. The only problem with that is maybe the proof would have been nice to be like 110 or 55% ABV. However, I think for 80 bucks, that's about right in line. You're paying $10 for every year, which is what I kind of like. So then the last bottle on this list, and the second Old Fitz that I've been able to pick up this year, that is an Old Fitz that I do not have. This is Old Fitz 10-year. Bottled in bond, 100 proof or 50% ABV out of the Heaven Hill Distillery. I don't know too much about this release. This is the spring 2024 release. Looks a little bit like that. So we picked up the Old Fitz 13, the very, very rare, when we were in Kentucky at the Heaven Hill Distillery. We got up at like 4 a.m. and waited outside multiple days, but we were happy to get that. So this is a bit of a bonus. I wasn't really expecting to stumble onto one of these, but I had an allocated list here in Colorado, and I was kind of putting my eggs into that basket for quite a while now. I hadn't been like asking for anything specific from the store owner, and then he managed to come up good. And this is the Old Fitz 10. The price on this, I believe, and I don't have it, was about $175. The Coy Hill was $80, just in case anybody's wondering. So yeah, really happy that I was able to get this. It's such a beautiful looking bottle. As you can see, it has the green label. I have an 9-year up there that looks very similar, has the same label. The red one is the 13-year and the 19 is the black one. So up until about 18 months ago, I didn't really have any Old Fitzes. But much like a London bus, when you get one, all of them show up at once. So really happy that I was able to get that. Yes, I still paid a pretty penny. Yes, I had to make a lot of good relationships with whiskey store owners here in Colorado. And as you can see from the bottles that I've been spending money on, it's just not all allocated stuff. It's pretty much most of the run-of-the-mill stuff. And that's how you build relationships with store owners. It's not always possible. However, sometimes they can come through. So hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. A lot of good whiskey and a lot of good reviews coming up your way as we drink through the world's whiskeys, one glass at a time. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.